Honorable Secretary, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, Shri Bimal Julka, the extremely distinguished Shri Jawahar Sarkar, Chief Executive Officer of Prasar Bharati, our honoured guest, Mr. Vern Fotheringam, if I get the pronunciation of the name right, who was our keynote speaker, Mr. A.K. Dikshit, Mr. P.K. Singh, my senior colleagues, Mr. Jiten Shankar Mathur, Supriya Sahu, member personnel in the board of Prasar Bharati, Brigadier Hussain, member finance, Mr. Pandit, the Director General of the All India Radio, Mr. Venkateshwalu, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to commence by congratulating the Broadcast Engineering Society of India for putting together this magnificent expo and a very stimulating conference to follow. I want to laud your efforts for getting experts from across the globe to showcase their technologies year after year ever since it was established in 1987. Conferences such as these not only help promote vanguard solutions and innovative technologies, but also ensure a confluence of Indian and global ideas in this sector. When I came to this conference last year, I had but barely taken over as the Minister of Information and Broadcasting. And to be very candid and honest, the last 14 months has been a learning curve, steep on most occasions, but pleasurable nonetheless. Unlike a large number of very distinguished technical people, both on the dais and in the audience, I must confess that I am fairly technologically challenged, so therefore my understanding of the finer nuances of technology are rather limited. But as someone who was a lawyer in my previous avatar, I do understand that it is extremely imperative and important that if any sector has to grow and flourish, it must have a stable and a predictable regulatory regime. And the one thing which I was completely struck by was the fact that in the broadcasting space, ever since we liberalized in the early 90s, I think 1991 or 1992, if I remember correctly, broadcasting has perhaps been that unique sector where the march of technology has succeeded and outpaced regulation, rather than regulation laying the framework in which technology and the liberalization of the sector should really have taken place. And as the Honourable Secretary was very correctly mentioning, that over the past 2.5 decades, if my memory serves me correctly, we have issued in the television space about 800 odd licenses. And with all due respects to the plurality of the Indian broadcasting space, it is my very humble personal opinion that perhaps this has been one of the corrosive legacies of liberalization. And the reason I say that with a sense of responsibility is because if you juxtapose the liberalization of the broadcasting sector with the liberalization of the telecom sector, and I spent quite a few years in the telecom courts over a period of time, you would find that even today in a telecom circle which roughly corresponds to a state, you have about 6 or 7 players, at best 8 players. If you were to sort of extrapolate that to the broadcasting paradigm, you have 800 odd players, out of which 395 odd are in the news space. And if you go by the conventional figures which are available, news and current affairs occupies about 7% of the entire broadcasting universe. So the fact remains that you have about 800 odd news channels who are competing for a market share in an environment which is completely advertising driven rather than subscriber driven or subscriber revenue driven. And on one hand, while we can celebrate the plurality and the diversity of the market, on the other hand, I think we also must be cognizant of the fact that market fragmentation at this level does breed its own aberrations and bring in its own angularities, which at times has a very deleterious impact on the level and on the gravitas of the discourse which all of us imbibe and assimilate on a regular basis. So therefore, the couple of things that we were able to do in the past 14 months with the help of my extremely eminent and venerable colleagues was try and put in place a regulatory framework which would then make the entire environment more stable and predictable. We set up an interministerial committee in order to consider all the recommendations which came in from the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India on references which were made by the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. And we have been able to take a view with regard to not allowing government entities, political entities in the broadcasting space, whereby effectively prescribing that Prasar Bharati would continue to remain the only public broadcaster which has a component of government funding, and the rest of the space would really be left to private initiative and to private players to sort of come and compete and be able to disseminate content as they feel like. Simultaneously, what we've also been able to do recently is that over a period of time there have been representations from the industry that the entire system of measurement of television audiences, which drives the appropriation and the distribution of advertising revenues, is unfortunately broken and therefore requires to be fixed. It had been a debate which dates back almost to the time when we opened up the broadcasting sector. The Telecom Regulatory Authority of India gave recommendations in 2008. We set up a committee under the current Finance Minister of West Bengal, who was then Secretary General of the FICCI, Mr. Amit Mitra, to try and find a solution to this problem. The ministry, under the able guidance of our officers, worked with the industry to try and create the Broadcasting Audience Research Council so that it would be an industry-led effort. But simultaneously, there was a feeling that we need to put in place a transparent mechanism whereby not only the industry, not only the stakeholders, but ordinary people at large would know as to how the popularity of television programs is measured. And I must report that after a great deal of deliberations, we've been successful in getting through on the 9th of January 2014 a decision by the cabinet whereby there would be policy guidelines in place which would ensure that not only would the television rating system become accountable, become auditable, become transparent, but more importantly would become broad-based. Because if you look at the television universe, 15.4 crore television homes, if I remember correctly, if they are going to be benchmarked by a sample size of 10,000 odd people's meters, I do not think that it reflects the reality of television viewership in India. And to a very great extent, I think the credit must also go to Mr. Jawahar Sarkar and his colleagues who, for the lack of a better expression, took the bull by the horns, took it to the Competition Commission. As I speak, I believe, Mr. Sarkar, there is an inquiry which is already in progress. So therefore, I think in the medium term and in the long term, we would have a situation whereby the entire rating mechanism, the audience measurement mechanism would not only become far more accountable but far more stringent as we speak.